So we're gonna start with a little background. Tell me a little bit about you, your name and where you're from, and where you go to school, and what's your major.
Okay, my name is Varela. I'm 22 years old. I am originally from Quito, Ecuador, in South America, and I'm studying in Loyola University for a business major in finance and international business.
Okay. What's it like in Ecuador?
I like it a lot. It's a fun place to grow up in. My whole family is there, so I do miss them. I like the mountains. We have beaches. We have the Galapagos Islands. We have the Amazon. And the only bad thing that I don't like about Ecuador is the politicians because they're really corrupt and they ruin my country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it made you like come here and like have this major.
I always wanted to study in the States because it's an amazing opportunity for me. It's an amazing opportunity for me. My family was able to provide that for me, so I'm taking advantage of it to the maximum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you an international student?
I'm not. I have an American passport, so luckily I applied like an American citizen, but I lived all my life in Ecuador.
Gotcha.
And my mom is American, so that's why I have the American passport.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Because I think if I'm reading correctly, DoorDash, you have to be like a U.S. citizen,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so that's why you're able to do
Yeah.
it. So what attracted you to work for DoorDash and not like any other work?
Because I had a car, and when gas prices were cheap, my roommate started doing DoorDash, so he told me like, hey, you can win a lot, like you can win, it's a good side hustle when you're in college, because since you have to study and work, you can like mix them up and make your own schedule, work your own schedule, so it's a good opportunity. And now that I have a car, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna start doing it. The gas prices luckily went down, so I started doing it again, and I like it. It's a good side hustle for college.
Right. So when did you like mostly do it? Was it during that time? And do you still do it?
It was during COVID time. During I started doing it, then I started doing it like I did an internship once, and after I finished my internship in the night, I did a night shift of only DoorDash. So I really liked it, and then for this year, I bought a car, and I'm doing DoorDash with that car during like school time. Whenever I'm not in class, I try to do a DoorDash during lunch and dinner,
Yeah.
at least to make some extra money.
Do you have to pay for your own gas?
I have to pay for my own gas, but they give you a card that they give you like 2% back for every time you put gas on the car.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
With gas prices, that's like risen up recently.
Yeah.
How's that like?
When gas prices rose up, they gave an incentive to like, they gave us like promotions, as well as from the 2% of the cash back, they gave you 10% back. So if you put $45, $4.5 went back to you, and that added up, and that really helped alleviate sometimes the gas prices.
Right. Has it been helping like paying bills or like certain things?
Yes, it's helping me pay for like, I like doing DoorDash to like save up money, pay for like, help pay for my car, help pay for like the insurance, helps me sometimes save up to like pay for trips. Like I'm going to Thailand like on January, so it's helping me like, I'm saving up doing DoorDash to like enjoy a little bit my time over there.
Awesome. Is Thailand, is that the study abroad or is
Yeah,
it
the
just...
study abroad, but after that I'm staying with my other roommate like for 2 more weeks, and we're just gonna travel around Southeast Asia because it's a nice experience.
That's gonna be a really great experience
it's
for
gonna be a
sure.
great experience.
So what are like, in your opinion, like the best things about the job?
The best things about the job are probably the flexibility and the availability. Like, I like that you can do your schedules. You can make like, if you want to work at 8:10, you can work at 8:10. If you want to work at 9, you can work at 9. And you can work until whatever time you want. If you're tired at 10 p.m., you can say, yep, I'm done doing DoorDash, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind me asking, like how much money do you usually make?
I usually make, it depends on like the days. Like from Mondays to Wednesdays, I usually don't make a lot of money, and I only do it at nights because a lot of like students, a lot of like families order from there. So on average, like on Monday to Wednesday, I make around like $50 to $60 around it. And then with the weekends, it's where it goes better. Like on Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, I make around, depends on how many hours I do, sometimes like at $23 an hour approximately. So like 23, 25, depends on the tips as well. If people give you like good tips, like you win more money. And on Sundays, it's the best day because of NFL Sundays. A lot of people order like wings, pizza, so you can make around like $50 an hour probably
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, so it sounds like there's a lot of like benefits for sure.
Yeah.
So turning kind of like another side of what are some, what was the most unusual thing that's like happened like during the job?
The most unusual thing that has happened to me is that sometimes I have to go to the hotels and in downtown and just like go up like 20 floors just to leave the order there. And that's
Really?
something like, I don't know, it kind of surprises me that they don't leave it on the lobby. They allow like a driver to go up. And I don't know, it surprised me.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Huh. So, do you ever feel like there's a danger in terms of like being a driver?
Yes, mostly at nights, especially here in New Orleans. Like, it's you hear all about like the news about the car thefts, about the carjackings, about theft in general. So yeah, I try to avoid like the dangerous areas of New Orleans, like East New Orleans, and those parts, just to be sure. To I only do it usually in downtown or in the Garden District. So there. So I try to avoid the danger places, especially at night.
Yeah. So whenever like, so just trying to understand like the process of like it. So whenever like an order comes up, do you have to accept it before you do it, or it's like you have to do it?
No, with the app, there appears like a little message where it says like an approximate of how much they're gonna give with tip. They don't give you the actual amount of how much they're gonna pay. They give you like, let's say, this tip is gonna be $5 for 1.3 miles. You want to accept it or decline, and they put the restaurant's name. So I usually just take orders for over $7, and usually $2 a mile, so that I can make up for gas and mileage. So usually that's what I think.
Gotcha. Is there any cons about like working for DoorDash? Do you feel?
Yeah, I think the cons are maybe the no tippers are, but I understand why people don't tip. Like, if I'm a student and I don't have a lot of money, I don't like to tip. But yeah, usually when tips, like when you get an order for like $5 and you see that tip is zero, and you're like, okay, that's a downside, but I understand why people don't tip. And the other things are usually that DoorDash has like base pays, and they fluctuate depending on, I don't know why, but sometimes like the base pay is $5 or $7. And other days it's like $2,
Right.
and I don't like that. Like, I
Yeah,
don't know.
there seems to be more of like a political economy sort of influence in terms of like the base pay, it
Yeah.
seems. But do you think the highest it's ever, when was it like the highest like base pay? Do you remember?
For me, it was $6, the highest base
$6.
pay, not
With-
including tips. But with tips, it can get up to like 10,
Yeah.
12, depends on how much tip they give you.
Do you remember when that was like when that occurred?
It just depends.
It just depends, right?
There's
Oh.
some weeks where it's $6, other
Really?
weeks where it's $3. So
Oh wow.
yeah,
So it changes like every few weeks.
yeah, like every few weeks. So it's kind of like, that's what I don't like about it.
That's true. I never thought about that. Actually, I didn't know about that because like I thought maybe it would be like every few months, but no, it seems like it happens like
Yeah,
pretty
happening
frequently.
Pretty frequently, yeah.
Interesting. I wonder why.
Yeah,
Do you,
I have no idea.
you have no
why.
idea, right?
No.
Huh. Yeah, I mean, do you ever see yourself like doing this long term?
No, I'm doing it just for college.
Just
to
for college?
get extra money. It's a good side hustle, but I don't think it's like a good path to follow for a steady income and a steady lifestyle.
Yeah,
I
for
just
sure.
don't think it is
Yeah.
like, yeah.
In relation to like the lifestyle and such that you want to achieve, because like now you're a senior.
Yeah, I'm a senior right now.
You know, you talked a little bit about being from Ecuador and like you're going here and you're majoring in business.
Yeah, international business and finance.
What do you hope to achieve, or like what are your like goals or dreams that you want to do?
For the future, my dream is to like get a good job here, a good paying job, stay for a few years, save up, and then go back to my country and like create businesses there. Hopefully, the political environment there is good, so that I can go back. Like in general, I want to have like a family back in Ecuador, because I want my kids to grow up like I did, and yeah, that's my plan. Like, stay here, work, win the most amount of money I can, then go back to Ecuador and have the experience, the work experience, maybe a master's degree, and then start working in Ecuador doing whatever I can.
Yeah, sure. That's amazing. That's great. Also, just on a side note, can you explain to me more about the political like issues that are happening in Ecuador? Because like I don't know much about it.
Yeah. For like the last 10 years, we had like a really left wing president called Rafael Correa. He was like the 21st socialism tendency, which is like relationship to like Hugo Chavez and Nicolas Maduro, and to like Daniel Ortega in Nicaragua. So there were a lot of corruption cases, a lot of like um, political persecution against business people, business owners, against newspapers, against journalists, and it was like a time of like a lot of in like a lot of fight between like the rich, the middle class, and the high class. And when once he left office, there was a lot of political instability because the indigenous community in Ecuador, with the rising prices in gas, they paralyzed the country for like 2 weeks. And then with a new president again, they paralyzed the country again for 2 weeks. So it was like, right now there's a lot of like political tensions between the left-wing governments and the right-wing like political parties.
Yeah. Wow. How has it affected you and your family like directly?
Um, Directly, thankfully, to my family, we were good during those times. We could feel like the the tensions between like a lot of people, a lot of like family friends, like were affected by the political persecutions of them. Like they were like fined or jailed or sentenced to jail, and a lot of people were like, it's not fair, like to have like a president that does that. And then a lot of corruption scandals that affected the country in general. And if the country is doing bad, like that affects everyone.
Right.
So yeah, with the corruption scandals, with the little investment that there existed in Ecuador for that time period, a lot of the wealth inequality like went down, but a lot of like the like a lot of there wasn't a lot of money coming in to the country.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so sorry to hear that there's so much instability
Yeah.
like that. So you feel like, you're saving up money and you're working and you're trying to get this degree and you're doing it for your family, right? Do you ever feel like there's some sort of pressure in a way?
Pressure always.
Yeah.
My family is paying for me to study here, to like be try my best. I have to try my best. That's like the pressure I have on. Like I don't want my parents to, like I want them to be proud. Like I want them to feel like, okay, we sent him here, he did it, and we're happy for him, and hopefully we set him up for life.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So like going back a little bit to DoorDash, besides like the bills and you going to Thailand, is there anything else any reasons of like why you're working for DoorDash? Like anything else like you're paying off or?
I'm paying off the car right now, so it helps me like to pay off the car as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like usually one can make like $100 a day. Mine is like gas would be like 70. So if you do that like 7 days a week, you can make like enough money to pay off a car, or at least the payments of the car, and then have a little money to save up. And yeah.
Did you say, so you said you brought your car, like that was like your own money and everything
Yeah.
when you bought it?
I've been saving up since my internship, so I've been doing like my internship DoorDash with a friend's car, and I started saving up, and I was able to buy the car.
Right. Have you ever felt like, what if something happened to your car?
I have insurance, so luckily nothing.
Oh, you have insurance?
Yeah, I have insurance, so if something happens, hopefully, like, hopefully I drive well, so hopefully I don't have like any crashes anytime soon, or nothing like that. So hopefully the car stays as it is. Right now it's in perfect condition, so hopefully I can keep it that way.
Yeah. So besides car insurance, do you have like health insurance or anything else to kind of like help you like in case like something happens?
Yeah, I have health insurance. I have the university's health insurance, I think. Yeah.
Gotcha.
The international one, yeah.
Even though you're not going to probably work long term, I think the reason why my professor is so interested in this topic is because it's such a new thing. Like now you can make a lot of money through just like an app economy kind of way. Where do you think this will be like 10 years from now, or like from like in the future?
I think in the future, if like inflation prices, like if inflation goes up, if gas prices keep going up, a lot of people are gonna stop doing
Really?
it. And if DoorDash in general, the company, keeps lowering the base pays, and people with the inflation as it is right now don't want to tip, like a lot of drivers are gonna say, I'm better off not working for DoorDash as I'm saving up gas and mileage. So
For
I think
sure.
in 10 years, if if this trend continues like it's happening in the last 2 years, I think DoorDash, I don't know, will probably have more trouble like
Yeah.
as a company.
Yeah. And because you said that the highest base pay was 6, but what was the lowest?
Like 250.
250.
Yeah, so if people didn't tip,
That's
it was like 250.
wow.
That's why you went for like an order. So it was like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's why at least you have the ability to decline the order. So if you see 250, you know probably they're not gonna tip, so you decline it, and that's why a lot of people like when they order DoorDash, it takes like a really long time
Yeah.
because the drivers can see like the average pay. Like if they see $2, they're not gonna accept it. But if they see like 7, they're obviously gonna accept it. It's more probable to take it and deliver it faster.
Do you know anyone else that also door dashes, like around like your cohort or like your group of friends or someone like around your age?
Yeah, my roommate used to DoorDash. My other roommate, he graduated already, but he used to DoorDash. I have an American friend who also recommended me to do DoorDash. So he was like, hey, you can do DoorDash just as a side hustle, win some extra money, save up. He studies here as well, so he also told me about DoorDash.
Yeah, gotcha. And so you've chosen DoorDash because of the benefits that you told me about, the flexibility.
Yeah,
Um,
I also do like I vary with the 3 apps with Uber Eats, DoorDash, and Grubhub because sometimes Grubhub has better offers or better pay. Sometimes Uber Eats has,
okay.
and sometimes DoorDash. But I usually do DoorDash because there's more restaurants around the area to do DoorDash.
Yeah, I didn't know that you did those 3.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind, like, how is it DoorDash compared to like Uber Eats or Grubhub?
It's kind of similar. Like most of them are kind of similar. It just depends on the restaurants. Like Grubhub has better restaurants, like better like high paying restaurants, like better ends. So it's better when it's like a busy season, like on Fridays, like to do Grubhub because a lot of like families order from like these nice restaurants. So the tips is much better than like going from DoorDash to a McDonald's and getting a McDonald's
Right.
delivered.
Interesting. Have you ever had any troubles with Uber Eats or Grubhub or anything like that?
Um, the only problems is sometimes client like says like the order never came, so DoorDash is like, hey, we received a complaint that the order didn't came, but they told me, my friends told me that to always take a picture of the order in the house so that when this happens, because a lot of people are like, I don't want to say like they're like sneaky. Like they get the order and then they're like, nope, I didn't get it, and they get their money back. So I know a lot of people that have done that, like personally, a lot of people who have done that as a couple of friends. So I know how it is. So I always try to take a picture of it so that when that does happen, I send it to DoorDash so that they can see that I have delivered it.
Yeah. So like tying to my next question, have you ever had to interact with the people that you're like delivering the food with? Have you ever had good, bad like interactions with them?
Usually and luckily I've only had good people like that I have delivered. Usually I don't see them face to face. Mostly it's leave at the door, the order. But when I meet face to face, I'm just like, here's your order, and they're like, thank you, and that's it. And usually the only interaction I have is when I don't know where that place is. I have to call them and be like, hey, I'm kind of lost. Like, can you give me directions? But usually they're pretty nice, so yeah, I haven't had any trouble.
Awesome. Let's see. So, do you ever feel like there are times where you feel like you didn't want to do the job? Because, like, I understand, like, there's definitely, like, benefits and such. But have you ever feel like it's hard to do it sometimes in a way?
Yeah, sometimes I'm just too lazy. Like after going to school and finishing homework or doing a
Yeah.
project, I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna do the rest today. Or maybe after I don't know, like staying up late or something, and then the next day I'm tired and I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna do it. Or a Sunday when I just want to stay home, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm just not gonna do DoorDash today.
Right. But you do it because
I do it
You're
because
motivated.
I'm motivated to get money. Like right now, I want the money just to save up and be like, have extra money for me to enjoy, like enjoy the trip, enjoy, help pay off my car at least. So yeah, it works to
Yeah.
just have extra money.
What else? Let's see. No, like I think I always like I used to I work at a restaurant right now, and the restaurant that I worked before, we had a bunch of like Uber Eats people, and I never really saw like people that worked for Uber Eats before until I worked there. And there's different people of ages, backgrounds. Like I've seen like a father with a kid with him picking up from school. Like it's so interesting to me that you can be like of any age, any background, and you can still do it. And so I find it really interesting that there's also like a lot of college students and how they deal with that, you know, integrating that with like their, like how to balance that with school and everything.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like that's difficult to balance or?
It's not difficult right now because I luckily just have like 2 classes a day and they're like in the middle of the day, so I can do it at night easily. I have time to like go to the gym, like go home, make myself some lunch, make myself some dinner, and then like from 8 to 12 work, and then sleep until like 8, 9, and doing it all over again. I really like my schedule.
Yeah, I'm glad.
It works perfectly.
So you said that you're going to stop doing this job once you graduate, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. How does your family feel? Like, do they know that you work for
Yeah,
DoorDash?
they know.
Yeah.
I told them like, Mom, I just need to make some extra money. Like, my parents are sending me like they send me money, like every month, like to pay rent and to like help, like with some kinds of stuff. But after that, I'm like, hey, parent, I think I could help you as well. Like maybe I could help pay off my car, you pay my rent, and then if I work, I can also like pay my trips instead of asking my parents for like, hey, pay me for my $1,000 trip to Thailand. I'm like, I can make a DoorDash work for like a month, save up, and then I can pay myself, so that you don't have to,
You don't
something
have to
like
do
that.
that. Right. That's awesome. So there's this like you're doing it for so that your parents don't have to worry or like have to pay for such because they do.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned earlier, like they pay for your, you
Yeah,
know, for you to
I
come
want.
here.
Yeah, because I know they're paying a lot of money to send me here, so I also want to like not be like those students that don't do anything, like just go to the house and just sit there, and yeah, I'm like I'm gonna do this, do my trips because I have to take advantage that I'm in the States, that I could travel in college, so yeah, I try to save up, try to make that money to save up for trips, for like as I said, the car payments, and then for extra money for who knows,
Yeah.
just to save up or I don't know, invest or something.
Right. So since you're not an international student, actually, I know that from what I've heard was that like a lot of international students have to choose like a business degree to be able to like to stay here.
Yeah, they need the OTP. A lot of international students need the OTP. Like usually STEM students get like OTP for like 2 years where they can work and then get like a work visa
Right.
after those 2 years. But it's really hard for them usually for the OTP. After the OTP, because it's like a lottery, so a lot of international students have a lot of trouble like finding a job. A lot of international students have because of personal experience. Since I live with three people that don't have an American passport, I see how hard it is for them, and that's why I'm lucky that my mom was American. So yeah, I really am appreciate it.
Yeah.
That.
Because like some of your friends, like have they ever felt like they wanted to work at DoorDash but they can't because they don't have?
Yeah, they don't have a social, or because if they don't have a social, they can buy a car. They can do a lot of things.
Yeah.
So yeah, as an international student, I find it very hard for them like to find a work that's not in college.
For sure. Like Alfredo, for example,
like
like your
Alfredo.
housemate and like my friend, like he works at Loyola, and I do feel like, you know, it's hard for him. Sometimes he's always talking to me about trying to make money. He was so excited when his social security number came in. Like he was so excited. Like you know, I do wish the best for him, but I know like how hard it is for sure. Like you want to make money, but it's not easy.
It's
and
not
like
easy.
especially
Yeah, with that social, he can do a lot of things now. He
Yeah.
can like start working like legally. He can start working in like a restaurant if he wants to.
Yeah.
Or for the OTP as well, he already has a social, so that gives him a lot of like more like opportunities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so do you feel like did you choose the major that because you wanted to?
Yes,
Like that was the thing you were most interested in a
I
way?
always liked finance. I always like the international business side of things. I always liked politics and everything, and I found that finance is really connected to it.
Mm,
So I really like my degree,
yeah,
and it's a high-paying degree, so that's also something I look forward to.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Um, yeah, I mean, I think that's amazing that, you have those aspirations, those goals and everything. And you seem like really motivated. Um, do you, when did you start doing DoorDash again?
I started doing DoorDash 2 years ago.
2 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay. That's really nice. Um, let's see. I feel like I asked you a lot of questions. um, let's see what time it is. I want to make sure. Let's see. I think we're almost done. I think it's been 30. But is there anything else that you want to mention about what's it like to work like with under like a gig economy?
I just find it interesting as well. When I came
Yeah.
here, I was like it was a culture shock. Like I don't want to be political, but how many people don't like the United States? I just find it. I don't know why. Like a lot of people just don't know how lucky they are to like live in a country that gives you these types of opportunities. Like if you want to work, you could have like a job. So it's amazing to me that like and in DoorDash like you can make more money like in one day than like a person in Ecuador for like a month, and that's what just keeps me like crazy about this country, like how easy it is to make some money.
You're actually right, because I realized that again. I don't know. I don't think there's a lot of countries that have this sort of
No,
gig economy.
like that's what surprised me about like the United States, how easy it was like to get like it took me 5 minutes to log into DoorDash and just start working, making money just like that.
Interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're so right. I didn't even think about that. Like, I don't know what other countries do this, but I think that's why it's such a large, hot topic because, like you said, Ecuador doesn't have something like that.
We don't have it.
No, that's really interesting. Um, do you ever feel like you would want that kind of economy like in other countries?
Yeah, I would personally love it if Ecuador went more like on an American type of economy way, like motivating business people instead of like government-owned businesses, which is where corruption happens a lot. So that's why I like the private ownership, especially. Yeah, so private ownership is like I see it like as something so important, and this in this country, it's amazing how they motivate like little businesses, small businesses, so that they can like support themselves and help themselves grow in comparison to like South American or Latin American countries, where I know it's really hard to open a business because of all the regulations and laws that are in place.
For sure. Uh, I wonder if it's tied to this, but like I've learned a lot about how the a lot of South American countries and a lot of African countries were affected by taking like really huge loans, like from like the U.S. There's a lot of like liberalization policies, like to open like free trade, but what it did was that it really affected and didn't really protect people working like in those like countries.
Yeah, it's a hot topic still in Ecuador. We like right now we are really close to the United States, but in the past we were with China during those years. So it was the same thing. Like the Chinese were like, "Hey, I'll give you like $100 million and build yourself a port," but now we're like slaves of China.
Right.
And the same thing was with the United States. Like the United States were like, "I'll give you $100 million, give you an oil refinery," and then we were slaves to the United States. But the difference is that the United States, at least in Ecuador, they fought like the drug cartels. They fought they fought like a lot of crime, and they also like gave a lot of things to Ecuador. Like, but sadly in Ecuador, the politicians are really corrupt.
Right.
Even from left, from right wing, like every politician that goes into power just wants money. So
Right. For their own interests.
for their own interests. If they're left wing, they'll steal. If they're right wing, they'll steal. So it's like we're just hoping for like a good
A leader
yeah, a
that's
good leader that takes the country in the right way.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Yeah. So how do people are able to make substantial like money in Ecuador?
a lot of people don't make substantial money in Ecuador. Like Ecuador is a really poor country. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of wealth inequality. There's a lot of people with a lot of money. There's a lot of people with no money. A struggling middle class. Usually the average salary in Ecuador, like the base salary in Ecuador for like a person is $400 a month. So that's what like it's the necessary thing to survive.
Yeah.
But that's not the case for a lot of people. Like in like the rural zones, people survive with less than like $1 a day. So it's like I don't know, it's really tough. But luckily I grew up like in a good family that could take care of me. Didn't have to go through financial problems, and I'm really thankful for that.
Yeah. If you want me asking, like, what does your family do?
My dad is a lawyer in Ecuador, and my mom works for the American embassy there as a medical staff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm sure they worked really hard to
Yeah.
get where they're at.
Yeah, definitely. My grandparents as well.
Yeah. But you said your mom's an American citizen. Is she from?
Yeah, she's from the States. She's from Washington, D.C. She grew up all her life there, met my dad, and then went back to Ecuador with my dad.
So is your dad from Ecuador?
Yeah, my dad is from Ecuador.
So they met in the U.S.?
They met in Ecuador. My mom,
okay.
my grandparents are Ecuadorian, and they went to live in the States because of the American dream. And it went pretty well for them, so they stayed here. My mom was born here, raised all her life in D.C., and then they went back to Ecuador for like a vacation. She met my dad, they fell in love, and here I am.
Yeah.
That's their story.
Yeah, you talked a little bit about it, but the American dream, like, what's your opinion on that?
I don't know right now if it's the same as it was like in the 60s. I see it more hard. I don't know. With all the political tensions that's happening in this country as well.
Yeah.
I just don't see it as a positive thing to like look forward to, with the division between Republicans and Democrats. I just see it like
so much polarization.
Yeah,
and
so everything is politicized in this age. So I just don't hope this country doesn't go like on the way like of Latin American countries or that thing.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. You said that you wanted to go back to Ecuador.
Yeah.
Is that where you want to live for like the rest of your life?
Yeah, I want to live my whole life in Ecuador. At least my plan is like study here, work here for at least 10 years. When I'm 30, go back to Ecuador, have my family there. Hopefully have like a good experience, work experience, that I could get a good job there, a good paying job there, and hopefully, as I said before, the political environment in those times it's good, because sometimes the political is so bad that people have to leave the country just to make and meet.
So, I guess this would be my second to last question, but what, in your opinion, is what do Ecuador needs to do? Because you said that you want it to be more of like an American kind of like economy, especially like we talked about like the gig economy. Like, what do you think Ecuador needs more besides like a political leader?
They need education most than anything. They need. I think education is the most important thing for like a person in general. Like if a person is uneducated, a lot of people take advantage of them. And sadly in Ecuador, a lot of politicians take advantage of the uneducated people to get to power and to get more power and then abuse that power. That's what happened like for the last 10 years. So I think education is key, because if you teach like children how to like read, write, use the internet, all that, instead of just, and building schools like, and making them like, since they're young, a lot of people, the political, like the mentality of the Ecuadorians are gonna change, because right now they want like everything handed to them, start working for it. I just don't like that about them. But that's what I like about this country. Like a lot of people here are like, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, and I just want that type of like ideas in the Ecuadorian society, especially like in the lower class, because sadly a lot of the lower class are uneducated, so they don't understand much, and a lot of people like take advantage of them, and that's what I really don't like. But that's why I think education it's key to like for a good society to work and function.
For sure, because it's unfair, I guess, in a way, like for them to not. I mean, they'll be more taken advantage of, like for sure.
They don't have the same opportunities like to go to school. Like they have to travel like 5 hours to just go to one school, and it's just ridiculous for something like that to happen.
Yeah, I was gonna say a little bit about like, I'm guessing they sent you here because it has a better educational system than Ecuador.
Yeah, 100%. They wanted me to not stay in university in Ecuador. They wanted me to go here.
Yeah.
They were like, go to Europe or the States, because you're gonna have better opportunities there. It's gonna be a better like experience for you, and if you want, you can come back to Ecuador, but at least you did your education in the States. And
Yeah.
if I go back to Ecuador and have like a United States diploma, it gives me like a lot of like points if I'm getting hired there.
For sure.
Because we do still have like a good economy. Like there are private businesses, there are like a lot of banks in Ecuador, so it's not as bad as it sounds. So yeah, it's kind of like a mix between like there's a good parts of Ecuador and there's a bad parts of Ecuador.
Right.
Like the pros and cons, as all country has them.
Right. But it's definitely a lot more unstable
Yeah, it's
because
a lot
of
more
the
unstable because of the political
little
environments.
politicians. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, again, like I think what I'm hearing is like you're taking advantage of working at DoorDash, something that's not in Ecuador, not in other countries.
Yeah,
You're taking advantage of this, something that's you've been working for a few years, and it seems like it's working really well in your life. But like now you're ready to, once you're graduating, you're ready to take on a more of a full-time job, I'm assuming?
Full-time job, a more like real job. Like I don't know if it's like a fake job, but like a more real job.
It's a side hustle.
Yeah, it's a side hustle. I consider it like a side gig. I don't consider it, and I wouldn't recommend people to do it like as an income, as a source of income, because it just depends on the days. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. If gas prices go up, you're kind of destroying your car, like the mileage, putting in the mileage, the wear and tear. So that's something to think about.
For sure. So it's not like something that's supposed to be kind of like a security for your financials and stuff. Like it's just a side thing.
Yeah.
Interesting. Let's see. Okay, I think we did enough. But I just want to say thank you for sharing with me a lot about not just working in the gig economy, but also your life and where you're from.
Obviously.
And yeah, and I really do appreciate you like sharing all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, is there anything else, or you're all good?
I'm all good.
Yeah?
Are you?
All right, I'm good. I'm about to turn this off. 1,